I did an entire intro and did not record a damn thing, and it was probably the best intro that I've ever had. Maybe. But ultimately, I'll let you guys know, you guys really don't care for the time-lapse videos, so it may be a bit more of a sporadic update. It just takes a lot of time to work. I'm pushing up against winter and weekends out here with the family. We were here last weekend, got rained out part of it, did make some progress. So I'll show you what some of that is as I reshoot the intro to this. But ultimately we are sealed in. So up on the roof, the whole roof has ice and water shield. The outside there is all Tyvek. All of the windows are in. So last weekend we were out here, we got 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one way up there, which it doesn't really look like it right now from the angle, but that thing was 4 foot by 4 foot. Connected it to a pulley up there, to the winch on the four-wheeler, and we pulled up in place. Actually, it went really, really smooth. So if you have some very tall windows, that might be the way to go about it. So that was just Steph and I had ladders on either side to screw it in place after it was in. But everything's taped. The window on the back side, the door's in. I'll kind of give you some highlights on that. But we also have, before we got rained out, 2 of the sheets of metal on the outside, which went way easier installing than I thought. A decent amount of the trims are up. The metal starter all the way around the cabin is on. That went pretty smooth. We've taped everything. So I'm going to start knocking some more of this out. Would have been a great weekend to do the roof. There was like no wind this weekend, but I needed to come out here because so far all I've done today is I've met the neighbor, talked about water service coming in down the easement, but I was kind of checking the security straps, the safety straps, and all the tree stands back there so that I can start hunting. So I'm going to be balancing getting this sided and roofed to be winter as I'm doing hunting while I'm out here. So now that I've actually recorded a video, I'm going to flip it around, show you guys some of the details, and I think it's looking pretty good. I do have some of the soffit here this weekend. I'm going to see if I can get some of that up, see what it looks like against the black siding. I think it's going to look good. We ended up staining it, and I'll tell you what that material is if I can remember the name, but you'll understand because it's pretty common. Here we go. All right. Door hardware is in. I had to fix the strike plate location because the used door that I bought had a miscut strike. Had to router it out, fill it in, recut for both the strike plate and the deadbolt strike plate, but have a real clean install, quick set entry door system, nicer than the one we have on our actual home. So I'll have to get the trim around the door, and then I can do all the metal trim there. Not real easy to see. I just put the stone down today, but you can see all the starter is on. I've tried to cap the ends. I've mitered the corners. I think a lot of the videos that I saw for the trims I took from, I think it's R&R Buildings, show really easy ways to do pretty good corners. I'm still getting better, but getting there. Trims up around the windows, and the metal siding actually went up really well. Bought a metal nibbler from Harbor Freight, And that thing is awesome to cut metal. You'll still have to get the left and right metal shears, but those panels went up really, really fast before we got rained out, screwed in place. So I think tomorrow I might work on this wall just since nobody else is here with me. I want to be safe on the ladders, going to stay off the roof. But all the seams are taped. You can see this window's in, everything's taped, minus the bottom, which is the way it's supposed to be. All the starters there. Nothing's on this wall yet. That's the stone I put down. I probably shouldn't have gotten 53s. It has all the small particles in it. I probably should have got 8s or 9s. But this will eventually get a deck over the top, and then I can just put a finish coat where the deck's not. But I was trying to get something on here to try and stop some of the splashing and not make it so absolutely muddy while we're out here working, which, yes, the smalls are not going to help that. So I do have soffit for this side, which is probably the rule I'm going to break. I'm going to put some of that soffit up just to make sure that I like how it looks. So I'll do that tomorrow while I'm here. I got to be back home at about 1 o'clock, so I can't work the whole day. I got a couple of trees I might go back and trim tomorrow before I leave, but hopefully get all that done. So let me see if I can hop inside here, and if there's enough light, I'll kind of show you what's going on. Let's see, maybe I'll zoom out here. All right. So not a lot's changed in here. You can see all the soffits are still open. That will change over the winter time. But ultimately, we decided on the refrigerator location, where the bathroom wall is going to go, toilet. We decided to go with a 36 by 36 4-piece shower. There'll be a wall. There's about 6 foot of kitchen cabinets. We are getting water service pulled back. So we're going to cut the excavator loose on that here shortly. You can see the soffit. The loft is open, windows in. Did measure last time the edge of the loft, and that way we'll be able to build the ladder, have a 6 foot rolling ladder. We'll end up putting some safety tethers on that when it's out of place to move for the door. Let's see. I think the only other thing I haven't talked about, we'll have the Mr. Cool unit probably somewhere up here. Got to figure that out. The other option would be over here, which might be an option too, to leave this as a really nice wall that we can decorate. Electrical panel will be here. Sleeper sofa. And then let me swing around. You guys can see, try not to make you too sick. But this will be back where the restroom's at. Close the door. Have really good windows. I don't know if we're ever going to use these uppers. So it doesn't block a lot. It's actually pretty clear. I'll have to look at it during the day. But I was thinking about maybe taking the screens out of those upper windows. I don't know. We'll see about that. We'll leave the screens in the lower. These are single hung windows. These windows are from Menards. It was one of the places that I could find a really economical black vinyl. We've had some other windows from Menards. These have really good reviews. I think for a cabin, they're going to be more enough. And quite honestly, for a house that's, you know, in a reasonable middle low price point, would be a really nice window without spending an arm and a leg. I think all 8 windows here were right around $2,100 material delivered, which delivered, I picked them up at Menards and we drove them out here ourselves. So It's those, the one up in the loft and the one for the kitchen. Everything seems to operate really, really smooth. So very happy with these windows. So we'll see how they do as winter comes. But hopefully in the winter, this place will have heat. Let's go outside. I'll talk about what they're going to do with the water service, and then maybe I could even time out some of that. So we'll meet you back outside. So from the water service standpoint, met with Kurt from Ace Excavating. They are going to be coming from the road. The entire pole, he's going to do a 1-inch line, is 1,350 feet of pole. There's not really opportunity to get well here. There's just a lot of bedrock. We're southern Indiana. And it just doesn't look like that on the maps that the state of Indiana has. So we're going to get the water service out here. It's going to come down this side of the drive. The electrical's on the other side. He said it will come in this side. He's going to clean a lot of this up, the stumps, which is really nice. And then he is going to come over to this corner and provide another pit so that way we can shut off and drain to winterize the cabin when we're not here. He's also going to provide a non-freeze spigot out here when we drain it. I think he's going to pipe kind of over and out this way so that the drainage comes out of the kind of that pit, the meter pit kind of thing, out and drains down there. And then he's going to come in under this slab and up on the inside. So I think I'm going to guess that's probably going to be November time. He's working backwards right now, trying to get a lot of septic done just because they had a lot of rains earlier this year. And then I think over the winter, I may go ahead and cut him loose on the pond, somewhere around half an acre on the other side of the big blue container. So with that, I'm going to flip the video around. We'll close it out and maybe pick you guys back up tomorrow. So a lot of progress made. I think this will be my 8th weekend here, which is really not a weekend working heavily on the cabin. So I think the fact that Steph and I have made really good progress to the point that we are. I am not a home builder, DIYer at best. I have a ton of tools. I watch a ton of YouTube. There's no reason you guys can't do a lot of stuff. There's so much information. The YouTube's like the Matrix where they plug you in the back. You just have to watch the videos. But I feel like this thing's coming along really well. Really liking the modern lines. If we do another one over here, I am not doing it that tall. I'll probably take a little bit of slope out of the roof and it will be a straight bunkhouse. We may Airbnb this at some point in time to the public, probably first to friends, and see if we like it before we commit to it. But I will pick you guys back up tomorrow, assuming that I get some time to do some siding, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so time went super quick this morning. Ideally, the perfect weekend to do the roof because there's no wind. Talked myself out of doing it alone, which is probably a good idea, even though I do have a safety rope and harness. I might try to see if I can talk Steph into coming out tomorrow, but we got to go to a party with some friends today, so I really don't want to get in trouble. Did get a couple panels on, was able to get the first corner on, went pretty good, made a couple mistakes you can't really see because they're at the somewhere up there top on the corner piece, but it finished really, really nicely. I also did put a piece of soffit up there. I'm not very good at painting on this thing. I think it's a little darker than I probably would have done, but it'll still look good. I'll show you more of the material next time, but it's just kind of wood siding board with ribs down there. Significantly less expensive than doing single piece soffits. Way easier to put up. Tucked it above the J channel up there and screwed it into the edge of the roof where the ledger would go. So I think that'll finish real nice once I get all of the metal trim up there. So everything's coming together really, really well. I do have soffit vents for that, so don't panic. Their black circle soffit vents should look really nice up there. So I think, let's see, last thing I got to do, for some reason my game camera is not syncing back in the woods, so I'm going to have to go back and, I don't know, restart it. It started doing it last night. Last sync was at like 10 o'clock. So not sure what's going on with that, but hopefully this is a better video. I know it's not me working, but at least it's an update on what the cabin is. So I will catch you next time.